Morning.
Morning, Nikki. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good to see you.
I'm excited for this.
I know, right? We'll see. Usually people come in anywhere up to like a minute or two after, so that's good.
Yeah, that's usually how it is with
I know.
online things now.
I know we're a little different online, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, and it is recording. So, if
Okay.
by some chance it is just you and me, we're still good to go because we'll still save and share the recording. So,
Okay. Perfect.
all good. How's your morning so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Everything I'm doing today is online, so I'm continuing with my day.
Yeah.
I managed to move everything online, so I like
That's
being able to do that.
I know my Thursdays are like that. I teach like four times, and it's just I don't have to leave the house, which is really for me. I'm driving into the city 45 minutes for everything I do, so to be home on Thursdays is just such a relief.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
feels like an easy day.
it's just it's a nice change, and I mean it's definitely different than teaching in person, but I find you have access to more people in a more effective way,
Yeah.
which I love, right? I love being able to just like see as more clients without having all that commute time in between. So that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the commute that adds up and takes the day away.
Oh my gosh. I was like, when I first started teaching, I was teaching like 20, 22 classes a week, and like none of them were in the same place. So every single day I would just start driving at like 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and I would just drive until night. And I was like, I did that for like 6 or 7 days a week for such a long time.
That's
You
what we
know what it's
do.
like when you first start. Yeah, so as I started to like be able to like put classes together, and like now I have so many like two classes in a row, three classes in a row, and it's just like feels like freedom.
Yeah.
It's amazing,
Yeah. The more you stay in it, the more control you have.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the longer we're at it, it feels like we've just got a little more say over, how it all looks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is nice that we get to do this program like this for sure. Let's see. Cool. Mm, Let's see. We still got to get the word out there a little bit too.
Yeah. Do we have a poster?
We do. We have a couple. I'll forward them again. Like I've been sharing them online and reposting them, and we've reached out. But really, what I need to do is, reach out to some community groups, and same with Hawk. Like I think we have some legwork to do still. We started it so quickly.
If you could
Um,
send me just the poster on Instagram, I could do a little write up as well and share
oh,
that.
perfect. Yeah, that's amazing. I'll definitely do that. I think, yeah, it's just, we're only 2 weeks in, and really like we only had a week lead time when we sort of started. So there's still quite a few people that we need to reach. So we'll see.
Okay.
We can wait. Since it's just me, we can wait a couple minutes if you want.
Yeah, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Just want to make sure. I'll check my emails too and make sure that no one's. Sometimes, like last week, Lynn messaged me and she was just like, "What is going on?" She's like, "How do I get in this room?" So I was like sending her notes while I was trying to get organized. So, all right, nothing there. Okay, cool. Are you all ready for the hurricane? Or
Yeah, well, I I surprised myself. I didn't buy any junk food,
I didn't
so
either.
yeah, it's pretty shocking for me.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm just gonna try to eat normal, and
I know.
I
That's
find
what
over
I was
time.
just like, you know what? I'm not doing that this time. Like all the junk. Because then it's like you just have these few days where your life feels shaken up and you're just not eating healthy.
Yeah.
And I hate
Plus,
that feeling.
the hurricane is not gonna be that intense, and
No.
everything is going to go back to normal probably Wednesday, tomorrow evening.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Um, I don't want to have to deal with excessive sugar and being bloated until Thursday or Friday. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So
this happened when we had the hurricane last year. My power was out, and I'm out in East Preston,
okay.
just on the tip of it, and it was just like my street, which is 7 houses, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, we're never gonna get power back, and we were like 2 or 3 days like this, and I had just traveled home from, I had been in Panama teaching.
Yeah.
That's Lynn right there. Yeah, I thought so. Hold on. So I came home like from a trip and was just like right away, came home, no power, had to like unpack and try to resettle. I had no food.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a bit of an event, but let's see. Okay, so that's Lynn. She is coming. So I'm just going to resend it to her. Lynn Jones. There we go.
when we had Dorian and everyone lost power, everyone in my column of my building had power. So I had power, but my neighbors didn't.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
it's so
it
funny
was
how that
weird because
happens, right?
our building was on multiple grids. So eventually we lost power in the kitchen and in the bedrooms, but not in the living room.
What?
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
All right. Tuesday, yoga reminder. There we go. Okay, I'm going to send that to her. Why that won't work. Okay, I'm just going to do this on my computer. So weird. Lynn. I'd have to send that out every week. There we go. Lynn Jones. All right, there we go. Okay, so I just sent that. Lynn is definitely going to pop in, which is great. So you don't just have to teach me, which is nice. I got to figure out how to like get the recording to start. Like last week I paused it so that people wouldn't get stuck listening to us chat. But the week before I forgot to unpause it. And so I had to reteach the class like by myself. Like
Yeah.
an hour later, it was like we finished and I realized I hadn't recorded it. So then I had to do the whole thing again and just like I was teaching. So
Yeah.
I had a lot of yoga that morning for sure. But I'm sure once we get rolling, we'll be a little more organized with people coming in on time, I bet. So
They have the link. They were sent the link from before, or do they have to get sent the link for every class?
no, so I did up like an email. I'll send it to you again. It's got both classes with the Zoom links and passwords.
Yeah. I got that, but for the other participants, I just wanted to know if they get like, okay, Tuesday morning, half an hour or an hour before class.
No, so I guess, yeah, that's the one thing we need to figure out is if we want a system of resending it or, there's Lynn right there. If we just want to leave that onus on people, I think what I'll probably do is on a weekly basis, send out reminders.
Okay.
This is the first time I've run a program like this where it's not like through an online sign-in system.
Right.
So I'm also kind of just learning like all the things. I'm like, ooh, I haven't thought of this. Haven't thought of this. So if you have any thoughts, I know you're running quite a bit of online programming. Like, please, I'm just like learning. So if you think of anything that maybe I should be thinking about, please feel free to let me know.
So what I do, I normally send the link before the class starts to every client, even though it's the same
Yeah.
Zoom ID and password. I always just send the link just in case, because a couple of my clients are older, so they want to get that, click it, done.
Yeah.
Some of my younger clients, they save the code, so
yeah.
they'll just do it. But I send it out to everyone. Yeah. There's also FitGrid. FitGrid is what Modo Yoga Bedford uses, but that links up with Mindbody and Zoom. So I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it just sends that automatic link. Yeah.
I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll get us a little more, now that we're kind of rolling and I'm starting to see a few things, we'll get us a little more organized. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially just, yeah, so we're not trying to remember things every week, because that sooner or later we forget, right? All right, I'm going to put my computer back a little.
Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I couldn't find the link. And Nikki, I would suggest too, can you put it so it downloads on a calendar?
Yes. Yeah. That's what Richard and I were just talking about, just a few things that I'm noticing.
I couldn't find it. I was trying to go through all your emails.
Yeah, so that's what we just realized, is that we just need a little more of a system where it can be downloaded. So I'll do that, and I'll get that sorted before our next class, all right? For both classes.
Perfect. Good.
Stuff I am learning. I appreciate the feedback. All right, I'm staying for yoga.
All right.
Also, Nikki, I'll send you a site. I forget what it's called. It's Canadian.
Yeah.
Where they have yoga, all different things, just to see how easy it is to figure out what it is that they're offering.
Okay.
And most of their courses are, and they're free, but they're mostly all sold out.
Wow.
I think it's more because people want it, but it's more how easy it is to figure out what's being offered.
Okay.
You just look.
All right.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll send you that link. I forget what it's called.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay. Should we get started?
Please.
All right. So my name is Richard. Thank you for having me. I thought the best thing for this class would be to do something that I do. So everything that I'm going to teach is things that I do pretty much on a daily basis. Not all of it, but most of it is what I do on a daily basis. But the main purpose, one of the main purposes, is to focus on breath. Now, there is no one way to breathe. Everyone is allowed to breathe in a different way. So when you move a certain way, you could inhale if you want. Someone else might exhale on that same movement. Ideally, we want to breathe deeply and not shallow breathe. But even that has its place. So I want everyone to understand there is no right breath, there's no wrong breath. You need to figure out what is optimal for you based on what you're doing, how your day is going, how you feel, your mood, all these different things. That's a part of exploring your body that is your responsibility, and it's a lot of fun when you learn about yourself. So the first thing we're going to do is pranayama breathing in a standing position. We're going to stand tall. Bring your hand to your chest. Just press the palms together. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill the lungs. Now interlock the fingers. Exhale out your mouth. Press your hands down in front of you. Keep the fingers interlocked. Inhale, reach the arms up. We're going to press the palms overhead. Bring your hands together. Breathe out your mouth. Again, inhale, arms go up. Keep your legs active. Hands together. Exhale. I'm going to fine tune this a bit more. Breathe in, reach the arms up, but I want you to keep the rib cage stacked. So the chest is not going to flare open. This is going to stay stacked. Hands together. As you breathe out, pull the belly button back and up. Let's go again. Inhale, arms go up. Hold it up top. Arms together. Breathe out. One more time. Deep inhale, slow inhale. Slow exhale. And release. We're going to stay standing. I'm going to try to focus on 360 breathing, meaning when you inhale, you want to breathe into the lower abdomen, and it's going to push out in every single direction, front, sides, and back. So what helps is if you bring your hands on your waist, give yourself a slight hug so there's a little bit of pressure. And as you breathe in, you're going to feel the fingers expand. Breathe out. Go again. Inhale, feel the fingers push out. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Breath in. Breath out. 2 more times. In. And out. Once more, we're going to hold it after we've inhaled. Just hold it here. And exhale. Good. Now we're going to start mobilizing the neck. First thing we're going to do is push the head forward. So your chin is reaching forward, your face is reaching forward. Observe how that feels. Once you have the head forward, then we're going to push it over to the right. So we're not tilting it, but we're sliding it. The gaze is still forward, but the head itself moves to the right. After the right, we're going to push the head back. After that, we're going to go to the left. So slide the head over. Remember, we don't want to tilt, we want to keep the gaze forward and straight. And then we're going to go back in front. And then to the right. Back. Left. Forward. Check this. Inhale, go to the right. Exhale, go back. Inhale to the left. Exhale, go forward. Again, breathe in to the right. Exhale to the back. Breathe in to the left. Breathe out, forward. Now you can keep going in those 4 points, those 4 directions, or you can try to smoothen out the edges, and you're going to make a circle with your head. You need to figure out how you want to breathe. Controlled inhales, controlled exhales. Good. Now let's switch directions. So you can continue with the circles, or you could go back to the 4 points: forward, left, back, and right. Try to keep looking at one spot in front of you. So your gaze is concentrated on something, on moving. All right, good. Bring your head back to center. We're going to do that exact same thing with the thoracic spine. So that's the mid back, essentially. I like to put my hands on my chest, one hand on my chest, one hand on my belly, just to know when my body is in space. So I'm going to push my spine forward. So ultimately, my chest is going to go forward. If I didn't stick my butt back, I push my chest forward. From here, I'm going to slide my spine to the right. And then I'm going to push it back. So at this point, I feel I'm hollowing out my abdomen. And then I'm going to slide over to the left. Now my hips stay where they are. They don't move. It's just the mid-spine through the chest is going to move. Let's go forward, right, back, and left. Breathe in, go forward. Breathe out, go to the right. Inhale back. Exhale left. Keep it up. Forward, right, back, and left. Now you could stay with those 4 points or smooth it out. It's going to feel like you're trying to dance. That's fine. That's okay. Essentially, it is a dance of the spine. You try to focus on keeping the lower body in one position. So doing this, we're going to bring awareness to the spine. The more awareness you have, the more control you have. The more control you have, the easier your life is. Now let's switch directions. You can stick with the 4 points or continue with the circles, whatever feels best for you. And remember, breathe deeply. I should say breathe with intention. So be aware of your breath. We want to use it. All right, come back to center. You can release the arms for a bit. Now we're going to do that exact same thing, but with the hips. So this is what usually gets people going because it's the hip movement. So just like before, we want to push the hips forward. Once we have it forward, we're going to slide it over to the right. Then we're going to push it back. So I'm back, I'm like this. And then I'm going to slide it over to the left. Now, I don't want to move my upper body. I want to stay tall. And I just want my hips to move. Now, the knees will move slightly as well. That's fine. But we want to keep from about the belly button up in one steady position. So take your time. You could bring your hands to your hips, or you could bring it back, chest and belly. Let's push the hips forward. Push it to the right. Back. Left. Forward on the inhale. Right on the exhale. Back as you breathe in. Left as you breathe in. Once again, stay with those points or make the circle. So we're trying to segment different parts of the body, all in the name of awareness. Just a few more reps here. Take your time as you move. Really try to push it out. So reach further through the hips. Good. Let's switch directions. So we'll go forward and then left, back, and right. And let's come back to center and just relax. Take a couple breaths here. All right. Well, this one is my personal favorite. We're gonna work the shoulders. It's gonna feel like work a little bit, but once you release, then you're gonna be active. Ideally, the chest will be wide and you'll feel shoulder blades and the back pull will help you create space in the front of your chest. So you're gonna reach the arms wide. You're gonna create a T shape with the body. You can bring your feet a little bit closer, or if you're more comfortable, hip width is fine. You're gonna take the right shoulder, reach it up towards the air, the right ear, and then roll it forward. So now my right palm is facing the ceiling, because my right shoulder is rolling forward. At the same time, my left shoulder is rolling back. So my left palm is also facing the ceiling. So my right shoulder is an internal rotation. My left shoulder is an external rotation. And then I'm going to switch sides. So now my left shoulder rolls up and forward. My right shoulder rolls back. And then I'm going to switch sides. And again. I'm going to keep alternating. And the more you do this, hopefully the more you realize your scapula, your shoulder blade is also involved. So as you roll the shoulder up and forward, the shoulder blade also slides up. And as you roll the shoulder back on the opposite arm, that shoulder blade rolls down. So that's another part of the body to be aware of. Yet still, as I continue, I can now add some hip movements if that feels good for me. I'm just gonna slide my hips, keep the spine long. Sink your breath in any way that feels good. Just a few more reps. One more. And relax. So you may feel a little bit of burning or activation in the shoulder and delts, but we got some space, we got some activation of the muscles, which is what we want. We're gonna move on to the wrists. Something I like to do in my personal practice. We're gonna make waves. So this is gonna create flexion and extension of the wrists. Something we often neglect. If ever you have to do anything with your hands on the ground, in a push-up position, or if you're crawling by chance, is going to help activate all these tiny muscles and again create space in the joint. So you're going to interlock the fingers and we're going to carry the hands from the forehead to the belly button. So I'm going to drop one hand down and the other hand is going to lift. So at this point, my top hand is in flexion, my bottom hand is in extension, and I'm going to pull it down. When I reach to my belly button, I'm going to switch and go up to my forehead. And then switch, come down to my belly button. Switch up to the forehead. So every time I'm going down, I'm pressing into the wrists. There's a little bit of activation there. Remember to breathe. So what I would recommend doing is inhale as your hands go up. Exhale as you pull them down. Breathe in and out. In and out. Breath in, breath out. Now we're going to switch directions. Inhale, come up. Exhale to go down. It is tempting to rush this particular one, but if you press it into the joints, if you press it into the wrist enough, you'll actually feel the need to slow down a bit, just to feel the sensation. Just a few more reps here. All right, let the hands go. You can move the wrist out, shake them out if you need. Perfect. Now you're gonna, some of us may be able to do this next thing with the feet in a neutral position. Some of us have to turn the toes out slightly. Some of us may even need to step the feet a bit wider. We're just gonna sit down into a squat. Now that squat doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It could be here. It could be as low as possible. You could hold on to a chair. You could hold on to a stick for support. The idea behind this squat is to keep the spine in a long neutral position. So we're going to maintain the natural curves of the spine. What we want to avoid is when we go down, the spine rounds and we're here. Ideally, we want to stop as soon as that happens. So if you could only come down to here, that's your squat, that's fine. And then you come back up. So we're going to do a few slow, controlled squats. You could inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up, if that works for you. Try to create awareness of that 3-step breath that we did before. So that would help the abdominals, keep the spine supported. So let's go. Inhale, lower your hips, come on down. Remember, keep the spine nice and long. Exhale, stand. Your hands could be anywhere. Head, hips, chest, out in front, wherever. Let's breathe in, come on down, nice and slow. Breathe out. And again, inhale. And exhale. Breath in. Breath up. Come down. And up. Down. Pay attention to the spine and the belly breathing. and up. Keep going. At this point, you should feel a bit of intensity around the abdomen. Three more. Two more. One more. All right. Next thing we're going to move on to a low lunge, whichever variation you need. So we're going to have one knee down on the ground. If you need to put a pillow underneath the knee or roll up a mat, whatever you need to do, that's fine. So let's start with the right knee behind us. Now, very often when we come down to a lunge position, we kind of just collapse into that knee. We don't want to do that. We want to bring awareness to the rest of the body as well. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the right leg, the lower leg. If it's turning in, try to bring it out just a bit. You're going to kneel, but kneel tall. So once again, the upper body is in a neutral position. The tailbone is going to tuck under slightly. As the tailbone tucks under, you want to feel a subtle lift in the pelvic floor. That's going to add to that sensation of being tall. All you're going to do from here, keeping this whole upper body stacked, gently push it forward and back. Breathe in, push forward. Breathe out to come back. Go forward and back. Now you may actually be able to keep going deeper as you do more repetitions. If you do that, that's fine. If not, that's also okay. Breathe in, push forward, keep everything stacked. Breathe out, come back. Again. Just do one more here. Let's switch legs. Let's put the left leg behind. We'll bring the right leg out in front. So again, whichever variation, whether you're still standing and just leaning or the knee is down, we want to keep the upper body in that neutral position and let the hips guide us forward. So if you're down in that low lunge, check in with the left leg. If it's turning in, turn it out a bit. It's going to bring a little bit of a stretch to the left quad. That's fine. Let's get tall. Inhale, go forward. Exhale to come back. Remember, there's a subtle tuck of the tailbone. Breathe in, go forward. Breathe out to come back. Again, in and out. Breath in, breath out. Lunge deeper, come back. Forward and back. In and out. Again. Two more. One more. All right. You can move the legs out a bit. Move the arms out. So the next movement we're going to do is a lateral lunge with a twist of the upper body. So for this one, you could grab onto a chair if you need. We want the feet to step as wide as we could comfortably carry them. So for some of us, it may just be here. Some of us, you may be able to go deeper. Let's turn the toes out to about a 45-degree angle. Because when we go into that lateral lunge, we want the knee to track roughly in the same direction as the toes. So we don't want the toes pointing all the way out and the knee is caving in. We want the knee pointing with the toes. So I'm going to go over to my right side, bending into my right knee. As I do that, I'm going to rotate my upper body to the left. I could use my right hand to press into my right leg for some stability, and then come back. I'm going to go to my left, bend into the knee, rotate my upper body to the right. Come back. Inhale, lunge, and rotate. Exhale, come back. Again, left side, lunge and rotate, and back. Keep going, lunge and rotate, and back. Lunge, rotate, and back. Right side, left side, right, left, right, left. A few more reps, keep going. One more on each side. All right, bring the legs back to center. We move them out just a bit. So for the next few poses, next few moves, we're gonna come down onto the ground. So what we're gonna do is what I call it is a modified beast unload. In yoga, you could call it child's pose to tabletop, but we're not just gonna hold that tabletop position. We're gonna try to push the boundaries a little bit on the wrists. We wanna activate the arms, the back, and the legs. We wanna keep the glutes engaged. And we wanna remember all that movement we created with spine. You're going to tap into that awareness and use it. So we're going to come down into that child's pose. Knees are as wide as you need them to be. Same thing with the arms. Get them nice and long. Forehead is down, but press the palms into the floor in your mat. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your back. You're going to pull up, elbows stay straight. Now you can stay here, or you're going to go forward just a bit and then come back down. Now, alternatively, we could do exactly like what Nikki is doing from a standing position. Your hands will just rest on the side of a chair, the couch, or the table. What we want to do is pull forward and get the shoulders to go past the wrists. So even if you come down to your child's pose and you still want to make it a little bit more gentle on yourself, don't reach the arms too far. Keep a little bit closer. Inhale, pull up. Keep the elbows straight. Exhale, come back down. Again, breathe in, pull up. Shoulders go past the wrists. Exhale, come back down. Now listen carefully to the next rep. As we inhale, we're going to come up, but round the spine intentionally. It's rounded. As it goes forward, exhale, come back down, flatten the spine out. Inhale, pull up, spine round, pushes up to the ceiling. Come back down. In, pull up. Exhale, come back down. Again, breath in and out. We're going to stay in this position and we're going to continue in a modified wave unload, or also called a modified spinal. So for this one, similar movement pattern, except I want to more intentionally round my spine, push it up, create a wave with the spine. And when I can't go forward anymore, I'm going to push my hips, open my chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, and look up to the ceiling. And then I'm going to return by tucking the chin to the chest, pushing the spine back up, and coming down to child's pose. So you could sync the breath with this movement too. Inhale, hips up, spine goes up and forward. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Exhale to return, tuck chin, roll back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to return. Keep going, inhale, push spine up, round it. Exhale, come on back. Breathe in, reach up. And breathe out, tuck the chin, return. Let's do 2 more reps here. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. And out. Stay in the child's pose or just stay hinged over your chair or your couch. Just take a few breaths here. You can keep your eyes closed, connect with your breath. Right. Slowly lift yourself up. And if you are down on the floor, you're just going to sit and bring the feet together and let the knees drop wide. If you are on a chair, on a couch, bring your legs up. It doesn't have to be wide, but we want the soles of the feet to touch, with the knees opening up. The feet don't need to be all the way into the body. That's going to deepen the stretch into the groin if you want that. But if you want it to be a bit more passive, let the feet slide out and try to sit tall. Just bring your hands to the legs, sit right here. We're going to go back to the 360 breath that we did at the beginning. If you need, you can bring your hands to your waist, or you can let the arms rest on the legs. Inhale, feel the fingers push up. Exhale, contract. Breathe in. And out. In. And out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. This time as you breathe in, you're going to hold it. Pause for 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Keep your lungs empty for 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Breathe in. Just sigh. All right. So that, in a nutshell, is your breath and mobility. There are many applications for what we just did. I've used all these techniques as a warm-up for my exercise. I've used it as stress management. I've used it in times of anxiety attacks. I've used it in times of trauma. The effects of it varies from person to person, but overall it's going to bring more awareness to the body and a greater sense of control. Not necessarily control over, but control with or partnering up with your body and your mind. And what I found is, in terms of exercise, it makes things easier because you get to tap in to the muscles a bit more. For anxiety, it is certainly grounding, and it helps prevent that shortness of breath. Most importantly, in my opinion, it oxygenates the body. A lot of us are starved for oxygen and we don't really know. We aren't aware of it because we shallow breathe. But taking those slow inhales, controlled exhales, is going to distribute oxygen throughout the body, especially where it's needed. Trust in the body, it knows what it's doing. It has a mind of its own. So something we could do as homework is welcome a situation of stress, fear, anxiety. It will happen at some point between now and next Tuesday. Welcome it. When that happens, you're going to breathe. 3 seconds in. Hold it. 3 seconds. Exhale. 3 seconds. Hold it. 3 seconds. Inhale. 3 seconds. And so on and so forth. If you want to add that with movement, by all means do that. If you just need to sit still or even stand still, you could bring your hands to your chest and your belly, to your hips. Sometimes just touching your ears works as well. You could pull on the ears. That gives you a bit more sensation. Adapt to it's your body, your life, your responsibility. So thank you all for joining me this morning. Have a great week.
Namaste. Wow, thank you.
You are welcome.
I want to go to sleep now.
Me too.
I just get up and I'm ready to go back to bed.
So, I mean, use this before your sleep as well. That's fine, right? You're creating space, you're creating awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was trying to, because I often am on the chair. I don't last so long on the floor. So I was trying to look at Nikki, but I didn't have my glasses. I didn't know.
Oh, shoot.
Glasses were there, but then so my suggestion would be if you just give us a little hint of what we do if we're on the chair.
Okay.
And
absolutely.
when you're doing those, because I had to keep thinking, okay, what did I do before? What could I do?
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Whenever in doubt, if you ever feel lost, the most important thing is you keep breathing with intention.
Okay.
Because that in itself is going to create space in the body and a little bit more mobility.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you,
You're
Richard.
welcome.
I'll check in with you later, but that was lovely. Deeply appreciated.
Perfect. I'm happy to do that.
And I think you do need to hit the end recording just to make
Alright.
sure it saves into the archive.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
See.
Bye, Lynn. Thank you.
Bye, Lynn.